Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody listening in. My name is Alexander Tharaldsen. I'm a product manager in Segal. Segal is a global technology company with offices in all the major oil hubs around the globe. Today, I want to talk to you about maintaining E&P business processes through a time of borderless collaboration. And I'll do this in a style of a pathway because we are on a journey. We are all on a journey towards digitalization, whether by hook or by crook. This is driven by the need for collaboration, advancements in technology, and remote working. According to a report that came out in July 2020 by McKinsey, COVID-19 has propelled a rapid migration to digital technologies across all industries and sectors. This is driven by changing and new customer behavior, unpredictable demands, and remote working. Applying this to oil and gas and exploration and production markets and understanding what this means for us working in these markets are crucial. Arguably, many of us were on this journey already and had begun to set out our own roadmaps for digitalization. The drivers in oil and gas are similar, and as we see it, driven by technology megatrends. We need the latest software architecture, we need to be as efficient as possible, we need agility to meet unpredictable demands. However, the modern workforce is also cementing the drive for digital workplaces. In modern life, we interact with digital technology far more readily than in the office. And as per a report from McKinsey and others, there is no reason this will change for the current and future value generators of the companies in oil and gas. For example, when undertaking reservoir simulation, adopting digital technologies such as the cloud will deliver results faster and enable more efficient business processes than previously possible. Ultimately, the journey to digitalization is inevitable, but the key component is the pathway to get there. We have some barriers. If we recognize the benefits, why are we not doing this already? Or why are there different takes on digitalization? I like to think of these as part of the same thing, routes on the pathway, junctions or decision gates. Ultimately, there are many ways to reach a destination, but which is the best one? Therefore, the fundamental question is not where do we want to be, but how do we want to get there? Risk is something we work with all the time in E&P. We know risk. However, we interpret digitalization risks as being one where we feel we might make the wrong decision. And it's understandable because which cloud do we go for? Do we go private cloud, hybrid cloud, public cloud? Which data platform? Should we be open? Should we go to one specific vendor? Which software do we use? We have reliance on legacy software, but we also want to see on future software that are developed. There are many questions and therefore increasing the risk. What if that doesn't matter? Effectively, then the biggest risk is the future. Arguably, if we believe what I just said earlier, that the digital journey is inevitable, then many legacy systems are archaic, they are broken, and the business processes are outdated. But recognizing that legacy systems need to be there and that this change cannot happen overnight. What if it doesn't matter what your current and future state looks like? What if these are part of the same challenge and that technology can be regarded as transient, as it is? If digitalization removes functional challenges, data silos, personnel locations, allows the integration of global expertise and services, ultimately, you can lay the foundations for business change to happen and overcome these challenges. But as with anything, there is a cost versus a value argument. Looking at this another way, data is now a balance sheet asset. And like any asset, we build an operation with expertise, efficiency, and operations around it. We could do that if, for example, with an oil rig. Therefore, digitalization can't just drive benefits and break down barriers. It must be at the heart of an operation. Ultimately, digitalization and a cloud solution provide a vehicle that can overcome these barriers, one that can navigate multiple pathways on the digitalization journey to ensure business processes are protected through a time of borderless collaboration. How can a cloud solution address E&P business processes? So a vendor-agnostic platform could provide integration of current and future technology to provide a robust, scalable, and open solution. If we break it down, new technology is changing the ways of working between the current applications and the new and modern applications that are delivered with microservices, the latest innovations, software as a service. You have OSDU. We also have data platforms that supports integration and the use and deployment of new technology and data types. An example would be data fusion. It gives us smarter and more flexible ways of working, and it enables us to be mobile. We need in a cloud solution for E&P, we need to have efficiency, we need high availability, and we need redundancy. We need to be open, we need to have multiple vendors, latest technology and services. Ultimately, a cloud solution is not just a vehicle to digitalization, but provides the integration mechanism of technology and services to ensure business continuity. If we expand on the barriers and the 4 barriers that we have talked about earlier, in the context of the cloud, I am hoping it will become apparent as to why cloud solutions are key to borderless collaboration. First, let's address risk. If the technology you use today has no bearing on the technology you may use in the future, what is the risk? Yet the reality is that much of our existing technology and software will continue to be applicable and core parts of our business processes. If we look at this cake on the slide right now, software and technologies provide the icing, and that comes in many flavors and colors, patterns, and all of these are changing over time. But ultimately the cake, since I like cake, I have a cake analogy, the cake is beneath is the foundation that is consistent and robust. So while we all want to realize the value of the latest technology or methods faster than the competition, we need a cake. We need a foundation, a cloud solution which has structural integrity to ensure we don't risk destroying the business process or continuity that the rest on the top is in need of. A vendor-agnostic cloud solution enables users to evolve by effectively retrofitting what they have today to the future. So if we expand on the legacy systems, the future we have identified as being a fundamental risk, but sitting back and not recognizing this potentially presents an even greater risk. If market volatility in oil and gas with COVID-19 and now a wider geopolitical risk has shown us anything, it is that our business ideas, methods of working and adoption of technology are often driven by reactive engagement rather than proactive foresight. We often treat the symptom and not the cause. In the context of maintaining E&P business processes through a time of borderless collaboration, we need a technology that can be flexible and alter its state based on the demands of the business. We don't want to flex our businesses and operations to mitigate a symptom. Our future state, therefore, must address functional challenges and do so in a cost-efficient way, proactively ensuring that all the pieces of the puzzle comes together. Recognizing that the future is still unknown, we can pick up on the advancements that solidify the value of the cloud solution today. IoT, so Internet of Things, if we consider a vendor-agnostic platform, integrating data from sensor, varied sources and various vendors, bring this together in a central location is key for collaboration. If we deploy a data platform to structure and organize this data in a modern way, we can build and use and have the possibility of advanced analytics and insight into business processes, ultimately improving the decision-making process through data liberation. However, with the legacy systems, ultimately, if we recognize that we are not starting from a blank canvas and that the businesses we have will always have to keep one eye on the future and a firm eye on the present, with a cloud solution, we can effectively retrofit the future. AI and machine learning, we are yet to realize even a minute part of its potential in this space. However, these technologies are progressing through the adoption lifecycle and becoming more prevalent in every business process. So we need a solid foundation to enable a market to fully adopt and realize the potential of these technologies. These are unprecedented times. Recent data from McKinsey in May 2020 has shown that in response to COVID-19, we have vaulted the equivalent of 5 years in merely 8 weeks in terms of adoption of digital technology. So not only do we need to maintain business process through a time of borderless collaboration, we also need to be prepared for issues we didn't see coming, not only those we can predict. The ultimate digital pathway is not a simple X is cheaper than Y. You need to ask yourself if you have ultimately selected the right pathway, the most efficient pathway, and whether you are successfully treating the symptom and not just the cause. Bob Dylan said in 1964, "The times, they are a-changing," and that remains relevant today. The only certainty we have is change, and we need to be prepared for it. As we look to maintaining exploration and production business processes through a time of borderless collaboration, the journey is inevitable. That has already started, but the pathway to get there is up to you. Thank you.